Hey y'all, it's Sunday. Welcome back to my channel. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe on the video. I was just spending some time out this morning, just getting a breath of fresh air, and then I had made a phone call to see where Nana pooped in. So I went to go see Nana a few minutes ago. It was amazing to actually walk in the place, and she saw me and was like, "All right, take off my skates. It's time for me to go home." It was beautiful to hear her say that because she was ready to go home. Like, she was like, "Okay, Mom, I'm ready to go." So I was holding her, laughing and talking with her, and she was smiling at first, and then she started breaking down. You know how that goes. Let me be brief about something on my channel about my children. One thing about a mother's love is hard, because when you see your child breaks down because they want to be home, and we got to go through paper, basically CPS, and you see your child break down and the world don't see that shit hurts you, because the more you want to take them away from the person that they're with and bring them home, you can't do that, because by law, if you do that, you might get locked up. I don't know what would happen if I had decided to do that, but I'm working with them. You know what I'm saying? I hate the fact that my baby has to go through this. You know what I'm saying? Even though she's not going through it alone. It's just the fact that she's not understanding exactly what's going on. Like, she see her mama in and out. She know I'm there every time somebody tell me where she's located or where she's at. And she know I always tell I love her that it's going to be over soon, that she'll be home soon. So I'm just giving CPS enough time, because it's been a month and 4 or 5 days. I'm keeping count, because they say 45 days, but she said they don't necessarily go by the 45 days. So I'm still puzzled about that part too, because she was like, well, it still don't go by the 45 days or the day that we move the kids out of the home. We don't go by that date. So I'm trying to figure out, what do they go by then? Because if it's been a month already, I'm giving them 15 more days, and I'm going to start snapping, because of the point that my kid's ready to come home, and I'm tired of seeing them crying and bittering over me every time I pull up on Nana. She wants to come home. You know what I'm saying? My heart is heavy on this Sunday afternoon, because I'm trying my best to hold it down for her and not cry and not let her see me hurt, and keep a smile on my face and let her understand, what we're going through is all going to be over soon. So it's basically like, I'm just up in the clouds. Let me show y'all the cloud right quick. Look at that cloud, man. The clouds are really out today. It's like I want to sit up in them clouds the way I feel about my baby. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, look at that beautiful cloud that's out on this Sunday, and I'm just torn down inside because she's not here. So I just was talking with Naya, and she said that's like a kidnapping charge. I ain't know what the hell the shit called, but you know what I'm saying. Walking in there, seeing her, knowing that she want to come home. So I'm back in the house or whatnot. Got a lot going on, like me and I was talking about. I was like, I don't know what kind of charge that would be, but I'm not thinking like that. I'm just saying, like, I just want to take my baby and put her in my arms. I want to bring her home. You know what I'm saying? Now, nobody really walking in my footsteps. Nobody understand how I'm really feeling. So when I get out here and I get on my YouTube channel and I start talking about me and my children and what I'm going through with CPS, it's because the fact that now I'm hurt inside. You know what I'm saying? I'm a mother who loves my fucking kids, and to see my baby cry like that and wanting her mama, it's hard on a mother. You know what I'm saying? Because I ain't never been a mother before. That's the real true fact. I've never been a mother. I've been a mother 2004. So it's like I've been telling people, it doesn't come with a handbook. It doesn't come with somebody trying to tell you how to raise your children either. But the way the law is now with CPS, it's like they feel like they got more authority over you when you got more authority over yourself. And it's hard to deal with situations like this because you got to go by paper. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm on paper. Like, I'm in jail or on parole or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, literally, it's not fair to her. It's not fair to Nana. It's not fair to the other kids either. But since the other kids are with their father, they do understand what's going on with CPS, and they know that the false allegations and stuff that's going on, because, like with Samaria, she said the caseworker keep asking her, have anybody touch her or whatever, and that's getting annoying to her. So, like, literally, the things that we're going through together as a family, you know what I'm saying? They know the situation. They know that mama's not touching on them or doing nothing physically to hurt them or anything. My kids know, they know their mother. And I know, of course, Aisha ready to come home because, his daddy real strict. But the true fact of it all is, every step of the way, I'm there for my children. Like, my baby, since the day they walk out this house, Well, the day the CPS took them out of the house, I was with them every step of the way. It was not a day I wasn't there. Bringing milk, bringing Pampers, bringing kids meal, bringing bags and food, and spending my time with my girls, my baby girls, because with my oldest kids, yeah, their father might act a little bougie or whatever. I might have talked to them 2 or 3 times since they was gone and video chat with them 1 or 2 times. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, that's not home for them, Hayward. That's not home for them. Home is here with me. You know what I'm saying? I know you just was texting me or whatever, but I feel a certain way yesterday because I had a lot I was dealing with yesterday because my grandma's birthday was yesterday. And I had to go down to the grave site and put some flowers on her grave. And all I could think about when the time I was a child and my grandma was living and how strict she was in her household and how her rules were and how I grew up. And how I grew up is not the way my kids are growing up now with CPS involved or the social media life or, just trying to live the fame life or try to live the correct life. And just like I say, with CPS, they got guidelines and stuff they got to go by. I understand all that. But if you just clarify false allegations with paperwork, like somebody calling you and telling you these things, you got to really have that proof. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand, like, literally, like, it's okay though, because once this stuff is over, like I said, my kids won't be on no platforms, no social media, nothing. Even though I be want to do mukbangs with them and maybe take them to the park or something and do videos, but it's not even worth the time and the energy to go out there and put my children on any platform because it's all gonna be back the same way it was before. And karma comes around. What people don't see is karma comes around 10 times faster than you think. But let me tell you something. I was telling this lady my story. And she was listening to what I had to say, and she said she went through the same thing with her niece and nephew, with CPS taking the kids out of the home because the baby fell with the grandma. And we was talking about that yesterday, and she was like, "You never know a person's story if they don't talk about it." And I was like, she said, "You always laughing and smiling, and you never bitter." And I said, "That's the thing. Nobody don't know what a person going through inside or out." Because just because a person smile and have a smile on their face does not mean that person is happy. Just because that person looks mean does not mean that person is mean. But you never know what a person is going through until you actually talk with that person. So when she spoke with me yesterday, she was like, "Wow, I never knew that was what was going on with you, because when you was pregnant, everybody was excited for you to have the baby, and now that you have the baby, we asked you how the baby doing. You just kept it calm, cool, and collected and said the baby was doing fine." It's like I say, everybody don't know what's going on in my life. Everybody don't know what's going on my story. Like, what I'm saying, unless I tell them about my channel. Like, I say, go to my YouTube channel and watch my videos, and you'll hear me up there talking and pleading my case to my children, letting them know, if anything happened to me, it's documentary. It's right there on my YouTube channel. Y'all will have this for the rest of y'all life when I'm gone, to see that how much our mother love y'all and willing to fight for y'all and to protect y'all to the day that I die. And that's the reason why I go so hard on my YouTube channel to talk about how I feel about my situation, because I never been in a situation like this before. Like, I never had to deal with CPS taking kids out of the house for false allegations. Now, I deal with CPS before in the past for a situation we had before in the Bishop that we was living at. In that neighborhood, it was bad. So if you look up that neighborhood, you will know that the Bishop and the colonies are bad. That's where we used to live at. And that's where all the killings and drugs and all that stuff going around. That's the reason why I placed my son somewhere where I know he's going to be safe, and I know that he's going to pay attention to his books more and learn more and do what he has to do now. That Papa is 17 years old. Papa is a teenager, like Naya is a teenager. He has his life in his own hands, but I'm still his mother, and it's still my responsibility to take care of my son. Even though he's not in the household, but he knows the situation, what's going on with the children, because I talked to him about it. And one thing he said was, he just shake his head and was like, "Lord," you know what I'm saying? Like, "Mama, you always going through something." Because of the fact that I put my life out there. Yeah, that's why. But at the end of the day, God has eyes. He sees everything. I'm not going to sit up here and keep dwelling on the same thing. But I'm not going to stop fighting for my rights until I get my children back in my home safe and sound. Because home is where it's at, right here with me. Not out there with their daddy, not out there with their godmama. But thank God that I did have their daddy and their godmama and their aunties and whoever else that I call family in my life to make sure my children are okay. And that they are safe throughout the safety plan that's going on with the CPS. You know what I'm saying? So I'm being calm, cool, and collected about everything. I'm not arguing and bittering, but when I get very upset about the situation, I be wanting to snap the fuck out, because that's just me, because I'm a mother who loves my children. My definition of a mother, this is how I feel with myself. I had to stand back on my camera. The definition of a mother, let me tell you this right here, is to protect you, love you, be there for you, hold your hand and feet when you cry, there for you through everything that you're going through. From the time that you are born in the world until now, up until I die and you die. I'm willing to do whatever I can, Jesus. Lord, I pray every day and night over my children here and ask the Lord to guide my kids and lead them in the right way and show them the way and let them know how much, I love them. Like showing them, from a distance. Like, mama's right here. You can look at the YouTube channel, go press the play button. Mama is always out here fighting for y'all and fighting for my rights, because everybody in this world has rights when it comes down to CPS. CPS, when I go to the camera, is not always right. They're not always right. Sometimes they're wrong. We all make mistakes, but I feel like this right here was a mistake because of the fact that they ain't wrong. I'm in my kitchen right here in this beautiful, loving kitchen of mine, cooking on a hot stove for my children. And behind me are my children pulling up their shirt and whatever else they're doing, running around with diapers and whatever else. And y'all want to clarify some sexual abuse going on in the household, or if he goes to a microwave and open it and put an egg in the microwave and burns himself, it's physical neglect. False allegations. And at the end of the day, kids gonna do things behind your back, in front of you, when you ain't around, whatever the case may be. But I ask God to guide me and lead me in the right path. Because on this Sunday afternoon, I was supposed to be on this stove cooking a hot meal for me and my beautiful children. In here laughing and dancing and having fun and listening to the music and on my live. But it seems like I can't bring the world into my life because of the fact that they're on the things that I'm going through right now. So, while yesterday and the day before yesterday, I went live. Yeah. And I was just basically doing that to see what people was going to say about I need a charger. I had money. You know what I'm saying? I had $5 or $6 I could have got a charger with. But I guess they used that. Oh, well, she's out there begging. I wasn't begging. I was asking to see what somebody was going to say. See, people judge you based on what they see or what they hear. You don't know what's going on inside of abundance of a person's heart. You don't know what a person is really about until you actually get to know that person. Just because what you see on the TV or you see on the news or you see on social media, any platform, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever you see, you judge a person because of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was looking at the R. Kelly story last night. I was like, damn, that nigga, he went out there and had sex with all these females. He did this and the third. Everybody want to come forward because the money not coming in now. And I look at the story on my own. I judge him based on the story because I'm like, dang, everybody was young back then. You know what I'm saying? Everybody was about that money when R. Kelly was out there like that. And a lot of his fans with him. You know what I'm saying? Like, he got a lot of haters. He got a lot of people that's jealous. He got a lot of people that's going against him because the money not coming in. So when I watch his story, I said, man, imagine if I was in that nigga's shoe and I was famous and I had, a lot going on and me and my kids was always on camera. I would have CPS in my house 24/7 if I was ever out there in the world, like all the way out there famous. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, I look at other people's lives, other people's stories, and I don't judge nobody because I'm not that person to be judgmental. I'm here to get up here and be one of the realest out here and show the world what I go through day in and day out. But I'm not gonna sit up here and keep constantly talking because I'm stressed out right now and I'm a little aggravated on this Sunday because I don't have my kids here and I really do want to season this kitchen with love, but I can't because they're not here and I don't feel safe. I don't feel peaceful until I have my kids back home. At the end of the day, y'all, dealing with CPS is just crazy. I'm just tired of dealing with it. It's almost about that time for us to let this thing go and bring my kids home. At the end of the day, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. But it's just so much that Nika's going through in her mind that I can't constantly think. But when I hear somebody else tell their story and what they've been through with CPS or how they deal with CPS, it brings a lot to me. Like, damn, you going through that? You went through that? I'm going through that. You know what I'm saying? I'm a living testimony that I'm going through something with CPS because of the fact with false allegations and people just calling out of nowhere saying dumb stuff when this house is full of love. It's nothing but love in this household. You know what I'm saying? When I was growing up, shit, if you can't do what you got to do, you get a belt to your ass. My kids don't know what a belt is. They don't know what a switch is. They don't know what a belt is. They don't know what cleaning up is. They don't know what nothing is. And it's hard raising 9 beautiful children on my own, but I managed to do that by the grace of God because God gave me the strength to do this. If he didn't want me to have all these kids, I wouldn't have them. And at the end of the day, I love all my kids to death do us part. And I always say that this is a commitment, not a statement. To the ones that respect me and mine truly, I love you guys only. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on the video. But make sure y'all watch those ads and don't bump those ads for me. Y'all have a blessed Sunday.